These times, I'm gone. So the next person to be still me.
Yeah, you can.
To make sure that the signal is still working. Cool. Next person to the stage. Why are you running?
What's up, people? It's the 14th of December and it's BYOB time, poetry and that. Don't know who's performing today. I'm going to try and get on for the first time. Some of the poets that I know from Instagram are going to be there. If they perform, then I'll put their Instagram links in the description or on the screen. So let's do this.
I don't need to explain myself. I don't need to introduce myself. But I've missed this stage where my happiness is shared in fits of rage, where words of a page are unleashed from their cage and timeless wines begin to age. Like the ocean is nothing but the tears of the broken-hearted, so let me drown in it. The smiling makeup of a clown covers the hard-hearted, so let me frown in it. Morning talent daily departs that I haven't written in a minute, that sometimes I think I've reached my creative limit. And I revisit notes I've written, hark back to times I was consistent before joining the scene. To be heard became a commitment. And this block got me embittered, resenting, lamenting this disciplined contentment, and let the self-dissent ferment. This bad intent won't relent. It's like I intend to write, but my pen won't bite, and I fight my mind. I convince myself my rhymes are shy, a blight, quite not right. I might just incite a flight in spite, but despite this, tonight I've been reignited. And I might overwrite this, but with my passion I've reunited, and excited I recite new on open mics wanted of uninvited, and even if the love isn't unrequited, I cite no lies. The stage, stand and light is the second love of my life after my wife, so allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Abdullah Van Gogh. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Abdullah Van Gogh, and hey, I may not innovate, but I paint poetry like one of the greats, and I'm inspired by the underrated Ley that I imitate him. And it's like I cut my ears so I can't listen to my audio landscapes, but I've illustrated one of my poor traits. And this stage has far too much sway in me spiritually, and sometimes I feel like I'm Trump at a rally, like, make Abdullah great again. And maybe this stage is a fake friend where loneliness bends in with narcissism, and all my isms and schisms are hidden behind I'm rewinding myself. I love that line so much I tripped over my own words. And all my isms and schisms are hidden behind slick lyricism, but why do I belittle myself and keep my mental health on the shelf and continue to accumulate wealth but explore my fragility and stealth? Where I measure my self-worth by the level of clicks, so click. Clicks that become cement to words turned to brick. Click for a house which is made out of sticks, and click for the wolf of reality and the women popularity being a trick, and keep clicking to keep me deluded and give me the illusion that my standards are reputed. My name is Forspoken, and we're fucking back.
So I'm Chelsea May, and this poem is called Mother Earth. There is word of a woman who lives deep in the earth, so rooted in nature that the ugly could not see her worth. So the world swallowed her up and laid her gently down inside a belly of grass, where silver-lined clouds and pots of gold were on forecast. She befriended the ground that blessed her with a path. She fell in love with the lakes that drew her a bath. Every morning she would swing from branch to branch as if it's where her final doves. Dangling from vines like a future chandelier, lighting up the forest with her glowing sphere. To say she was a goddess, that wouldn't come near. She raised the animals as if she was the mother of them all. Even when it ended in a brawl, she would win. She's thick-skinned, unstoppable, like coastal winds. She's been living amongst us for generations. Our ancestors know no limitations to her creations. She, like many other spiritual women, have blessed these grounds with their magic and wisdom. Will we listen? Because some say that she's gone away. They say she couldn't take the pain of watching her beautiful land live in strain, to die in vain. What a beautiful shame. See, her connection with the natural world is so true that like glue, her body and spirit morphed into a new way of living, all-encompassing. But with that comes great sacrifice, one for only she can pay the price. As our rivers clog up with toxic oil, for her it's turmoil, she can't breathe, her lungs are at the capacity, she's being suffocated emphatically. She cries, "Will somebody help me?" Her hair has grown dry and thin, like her skin, the glow of her spirit has gone dim. Her forests are crying for relief as they lose their final leaf to a fire caused by unbearable heat. Flashbacks of dancing chandeliers dangling from the vines appears to be a thing never done here. A natural mother, lost and frail with no babies to cradle because the consequence of her animals, that was the most fatal. Humanity is ripping apart the balance of wildlife, and for that, the animal kingdom is paying the ultimate price. Silent at night, when the whales sing, and deep blue waves are crashing in, with nothing but vastness on the horizon, protected above by Scorpius and Orion, there's a sadness in the air. Some say it's the whistle of the wind, some think it's a crying or a whinge. I think it's a hum of Mother Nature's suffering. This is it. She's dying.
Yes. How we doing, people? We good?
Yeah.
It's so nice to be in a room with actual people and not just performing to a screen. I can't lie. So give a big round of applause to Tish, is always going to help me out. We haven't practiced this. We're literally just going to see what happens. So bear with us. But I hope you guys enjoy it. This piece is called Emergence, so I hope you enjoy it. I just want to live and laugh, paint pictures with my paragraphs, fit right in like camouflage, find me on the greener grass. No other side, I wonder why. I rewrite lines 100 times. I rewind time inside my mind to redefine my inner eye. I lost myself a while back, funny now I smile at. A younger me, no dungarees, was hungry for lunch and treats. Now I want 100 trees, a bunch of seeds and space to breathe. A piece inside of me, no BFG can read my dreams. We just hit the road, doll. It's getting kinda cold, doll. Warm up the mic, absorb the light, I'm born to fly, I'm airborne. This is not my final transformation, but a rare form. Phone's always on flight mode, I guess that's always there, cool. I'm missing and declining, yeah, the system's undermining all the poets and the wordsmiths. The herds ain't heard our verses, so rehearse the words and learn this. Turn my verbs and burn the worst bits. Burn lips, verse this. My notebook's like a furnace, all the heat that I've been birthing. It's about time that I surface, catch a wave and then I'll surf it. I deserve it, I've been working on myself and how I'm feeling. Focusing my breathing, coping, I've been dreaming, I've been searching for the reasons why my self-doubt's like a ceiling made of glass and my arms bleeding. See, my heart is on my sleeve, but you can't read the signs I'm feeling. I was healing like I wasn't sick, always been an optimist. Yeah, been through a lot of shit. The truth hurts if I'm honest, this is me, just searching for the light, flirting with a mic. Felt like I was drowning, now I'm sounding like I'm fine. Couldn't find myself for hours, going round inside my mind. Acceptance of reflection really mirrors with the times. In the eye of the beholder, I was showed that love is blind. It's alright to cry sometimes and show the world you're hurting. It's alright to hide sometimes and stay behind the curtains, cause nobody is perfect, so do what you enjoy. I'm just trying to hear you now, smiling with your voice. Be expressive with your words, learning lessons from the noise. Instead of waiting for your turn, earn some blessings and rejoice. Cause this is what I live for. Poets puzzle people picking pieces from a jigsaw. I'm about to pitch my goals, I'm hoping for a big score. Find me in my happy place, I'll navigate through big storms. Brainstorming hurricanes, rain falling, I'ma take what is mine, and when I shine, I stay aligned and gravitate my greatness. I made this writing lyrics on a late shift, creating waves to make these wages pave the way to play on stages. I got friends all on my playlist making waves, I pray we make it be the change to make a statement. No more waiting, saving all these words up on my iNotes, writing verses with my eyes closed. I know my flow is now worth some recognition. Isn't it ironic 2020 messed the vision? Yeah, I stopped and could have lost myself. My socials feel all distant, now it's different. Wishing on some stars so I can start to make a difference. Haven't made it far, but I know art can go the distance. Blisters on my fingers from the things that I've been printing. I've been overthinking thoughts, overthinking more. Now I'm sure this overthinking led to lingering on thoughts. Of course it's gonna happen. On course for applause and a tour and some balance. Getting bored of games, I've been searching for the ladders. Stay avoiding snakes, the fakes, and most rappers went from being overlooked to getting brought to new chapters. Never trusted actors or an agency. What's left in the matrix, they're all agents. See, and none of this exists. Or does it? You tell me. Peace out. Peace in. BYOB, thank you so much.
So the poem that I'm performing today, I wrote this, I don't know, when you have an existential crisis, and I feel like, given that we're in a pandemic, this feels kind of appropriate. So this is just a prayer. Dear God, I make difficult decisions based on faith. I trust that when you entrust me with something, I might struggle a little bit in the beginning, but eventually everything will be okay. This is you, all you. I don't make plans, you'll only make them better. So I might as well let you do your thing like you haven't already. I will adapt to the way that you shape me. Everything is a reminder of what you taught me. Anyone or anything that was removed from my life was because it was not worth what it used to be, if anything at all. Thank you for ensuring that I didn't bend to the will of others, only yours. When I'm wrapped in your presence, chaos seems calm, because your guidance encourages me to follow the path. Something about you just strengthens me. I've seen the darkest roads and felt relieved when others would be scared. You see, there's a peace in pitch black silence that you can't find anywhere. But you made it that way. When the weight lifts, the divine defies doubt. Resilience makes you recover faster. There's a serenity in hardship. It transformed me. When others called me fragile, you gave me stability. Growth is sacred, especially when you know who is behind it. Thank you for continuing to try, even at times when I didn't want to. The best thing about being torn apart is realizing I was seamless in the first place. You promised survival, and you didn't disappoint. Thank you very much.
My name's Ali. I go by the name Nomadic Libaax. As he said, Libaax means lion in Somali. And the poem today is entitled Nation of Poets. And it begins. My people's pain will never be in vain. The blood through my veins is how their legacy remains. I come from a derelict terrain where poverty and pain remain and never change. From dark days filled with death to war-torn towns with no prospects. A nation separated by colonial lines. A people divided by allegiance to tribes. Each tribe with their own pride, so they can never put their differences aside for the betterment of their own people's lives. In the past, this wouldn't pass. People put into a different class simply because of caste. Oh my, how the world has changed so fast. Before the colonization, degradation, humiliation, separation and suffocation of my sovereign nation, Somalia was an oasis of knowledge and creation. The ancient Egyptians called it the land of Punt, the land of the gods. The ancient Greeks knew it as the land of Berberoi. The ancient Romans called it Regio Cinemaphore, the land of cinema. As far back as 2000 BC, the ancient Egyptians used to travel down the Red Sea for frankincense, myrrh, and whatever else they may need. Somalia was a place of wealth indeed. Somali people are nomadic in nature, known throughout the ages as Greek sea merchants and traders. Our history wasn't written in pages, but maintained through oral recitation. A pivotal point in the time of this great nation is when Islam entered the equation. This defining moment in Somali history created a sense of community. All became equal before one God, Allah, through testifying that there is only one God and Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam is his messenger. La ilaha illallah wa anna Muhammadur Rasulullah. Community is unity. And when my people were united, they were immovable and enlightened. Through an understanding of the Holy Quran, they gained strength and built Iman, forging plans to pioneer and prosper for the greater good of the motherland. Have a great night.
This life is all about balance. Sometimes you feel high, sometimes you feel a little low. There's beauty in falling, being uncertain but still going with the flow. Keep your head up, it's gonna be okay. You're on the path to discovering who you are. You never know what's coming your way. Remember where it is you started from, because it can't shine without a little rain. You can't smile without a little pain. Do right without a little wrong. What makes you weak can also make you strong. The past is done, the future's yet to come. So try your best to be present now. Things will change, they never stay the same. Once you figure out the why, you learn how. So keep your head up, it's gonna be okay. You're on the path to discovering who you are. You never know what's coming your way. Remember where it is you started from, because it can't shine without a little rain. You can't smile without a little pain. Do right without a little wrong. What makes you weak can also make you
I'm going to perform this poem called Power of the Pen. My pen draws ink from blood to paint shades before pain. The tip picks scars from etched graves like a rebirth to resurrect the souls that slept. And my pen is pent up rain, except it can't be reined in. It's reasoning, seasons, dry lands. My pen stands like M&M wrappers, in a slim shade is the way of being my only fan, without the only fans.
Hey.
It's heat without the blaze, a toque without the haze. It's high levels, ladders can't reach, and snakes from gateways. Writing is my pen's biggest escape. It's the source of all light. Hot sauce and cold fries, sore thighs robbed by fructose friction. It's bittersweet intimacy that infants seek, kinetically sweet teeth birth resilient seeds. It's the deserts, desolate deserts need to moisten their mouths. My pen penetrates predators. Sorry.
You got this.
My pen penetrates predators. Pulls preyers from prey. It fetches sunsets from sunrise. Traps moonlight through midnight. Horizons on the vertical. Whirlwind spinning vertigos, because most of you miss what is said between the lines that are penned. Have to think twice, then think again. My pen is its own intellect. It drives on empty fuel. To fill the roads, it forges itself. It books its own flights to the divine, where stories manifest higher stories. It belongs to one who breathes its soul in. My pen is sworn by the Most High, carved from the Almighty, cradled by the warriors. My pen is the peacemaker. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Come on.
I'm going to perform another poem, if that's all right. This is called Poets on the Stage. Tell me stages are part of the process. Tell me rehearsals on acts of worship. Tell me words hold prayers in their furnace. Tell me fire burns but ignites heaven for the earnest. Tell me words give me purpose. Tell me its worth isn't in its earnings. Tell me writing is a riot of protest. Tell me to write more. Tell me to write stanzas mismatched because couplets miss being single. Tell me I'm not enough. Tell me I am enough. Tell me enough is enough. Tell me to practice self-love. Tell me rejection is a retention of intending to send versions of you they make of themselves. Tell me it's not an acceptance of my ability to write less than everyone else. Tell me talent isn't elitist. Tell me my body won't break from claps of silence. Tell me my mouth will move again. Tell me stutters are pauses. Tell me to breathe breaks in between. Tell me to touch mic again. Tell me I set the stage. Tell me I am the play. Tell me it's okay to forget the lines when the lines rest on the back of your life. Tell me art is messy. Tell me to mess up frequently. Tell me to start again. Tell me to never find the ending. That's it.
Talking to the next act. Cause I like this man, I know he's got the moves. This is the man, the guy with the purple tie. Come on. Hey. Come on. This is about to do.
Hey.
That sounded a bit flat for what today is. It's the first year anniversary. Hello. So I'm actually the guy with purple tie, purple infused spoke word poet from London, UK. That's a mouthful. So I'm going to be doing a freestyle. It's going to be a little bit different from all my other freestyles, hopefully, because I've not got any words from none of you guys, so good luck to me. But yeah, so without further ado, here we go. I resonate with myself. I look in the mirror and at times I put myself on a shelf. I no longer know who's standing in front of that mirror because I can't see my own self-image. I'm still trying to find my own image, I guess. I'm trying to pen my rhymes so that I can find myself within my own words. There's times where I feel that I have not left this stage because in my mind I'm always on a stage. I am in front of the people and voices in my mind, I guess I'm trying to silence them as I sleep. I used to be an insomniac. Fact is, I used to perform for them because I was a jester. They poked words at me and I performed. I know because at times mental health has got me low. But I guess I am my own antidepressant. I guess I have to take this pill to keep myself going. And I have to keep flowing because if I stutter or pause, they know that my insecurities speak louder than the silences within my pen. They speak louder than the pauses that my pen may use to reflect on me. I guess I'm here at BYOB because I'm trying to unbox my rhymes. I have to find the poetry within myself. And I know because I have to drink that drink of liquor confidence and keep myself on check. Let me make sure that my waiter has the right drink because I have to make sure that I have this liquor drink within me. I have to keep my poetry flowing. I have to entertain those jesters in my brain. I know because I've not come out the house lately. I've been kept on a shelf, and I know because at times I'm trying to find the alchemy to my soul. I'm trying to take these words and make sure that they are softly spoken. I'm trying to make a goal because I'm trying to be a big score. So let me hit the goal. Let me make sure that I have checked in with my psychologist because I'm a Sinski. I need to make sure that my mind can keep me free. I know this when I speak because I am just trying to be a king, AJ. See, I'm trying to show you that my poetry is still flowing, and I guess I have to tell you why they call me the guy with a purple tie. Because I keep my tie on crooked just like my lip. I have to make sure that I stand taller than any mic that could stand next to me. I have to make sure that my poetry builds mountains and walls to climb over the wall of my misses. Because I'm trying to hop, skip, and jump into the worlds of this poetry life. I'm trying to set up myself on a stage that may not be here today, but we're in Box Park. We're in Beatbox, so let me box up my rhymes and deliver them to you for Christmas. I guess I'm trying to show you that I am a gift. I guess I have to make sure that my mother raised the sun, and I guess I have to make sure that I stand on this stage and make my father proud. But he's watching me in heaven. And I have to make sure that when I go up there, I can say I've done my damn best. Have I done my damn best? Have I done enough to impress those with the checks? Let me check that rhyme. Because I guess I am no longer performing for those with the checks. I am performing for myself, for my mental health, and for my people. Are you with me? Yeah! I have to make sure that I am performing for my people. Are you with me? Yeah! Well, I've been hashtag the guy with a purple tie. Peace.
Yes!
Yeah. So next up to the stage is the man with the Kindle. The man who shoots the wickedest vlogs. He's got the wickedest poetry. The wickedest metaphors. The man himself. The metaphorest.
Sick intro. I don't know if I can live up to that, but still. Okay, so if you guys want to follow me, that's on the Themetaphorest Instagram and YouTube. I'm going to get that out of the way. So I'm just going to perform something a little different. It's called Sweet Cherry Sunday Mango. It's about, them Sunday mornings with a certain someone, I enjoy that Sundays. Wake up with a smile. The sun rays race across my face. Feel the breath, grace my name. Arms around my neck like a cape. Wear you like a tunic around my waist. My Sunday mornings, with my cherry on top. She yawns, adorning a bowl-like crop. Her belly roaring, her hunger has to stop. But we work our appetites even more. Arms, legs, sprawled on the floor. From the bed we pour down, drawn down. By our cause now pelvic floor exercises, bodies rising and climaxing between thighs and triceps. Our beds, two people made hybrids. Siamese souls entwined, reading minds, hitting notes in silence, mostly heightened by our vibrance, riding each other's psyches for guidance. We go low, she's under me playing limbo. Body language, speaking the lingo as we let our things go.
Rewind! Rewind! Say it again!
Hey, I didn't even time that, so. Alright. Siamese souls entwined, reading minds, hitting notes in silence, mostly heightened by our vibrance, riding each other's psyches for guidance. We go low, she's under me, playing limbo. Body language, speaking the lingo as we let our teams go. God damn! Her celestial body, sacred geometry. Her thoughts are ideologies. She speaks our minds and becomes enlightened philosophy. Spontaneous choreography, her sounds are poetry and heat. Overly deep when making love to music while composing beats.
Buzz!
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Yo, shall we let her? Her celestial body, sacred geometry. Her thoughts are ideologies. She speaks her mind and becomes enlightened philosophy. Spontaneous choreography. Her sounds are poetry and heat. Overly deep and making love to music while composing beats. Her flesh soft with hard seed in between, while ripening her mango sweet. Intimate, where our paths intersect, becoming integers familiar with each other while our fingers met.
Becoming us. As we grow into adolescence, we're so eager to shed the remnants of our childlike skin that we cut and tear the quality fabric that makes us special in the process. We start to judge ourselves and others for showing any emotional vulnerability, as if they were putting it on display, just as a child theatrically performs their pain seeking the applause of sympathy. But this is who we are. We are human beings, but we human beings have lost touch with ourselves. We grow up resenting our playful, emotional nature. As children, we cry out in sympathy because it's in our nature to want to feel nurtured. As adults, we tell our adolescents to stop playing like a child, stop whining like a baby, as if there's no strength in displaying weakness. But children have a raw power that shame disguises. They have an openness to vulnerability because they have next to no fear of judgment. In touch with their nature, they know how to ask for help. They focus on getting the nurturing that they need, because they have not yet learned to ignore themselves. And so, they reach out in pain for someone to help them. And we tell them to get tough skin. And so, they, obedient and seeking guidance, follow and become us. Cut, torn, skin toughened from scars and too afraid to say, I'm hurt. Can you please help to heal me? Thanks. Cool. So this next poem is called Cycle. A little bit sweaty up here, sorry. Alright. I played with you cupped in my hands as comfortably as her hands once fit into mine. Still holding her in my mind's eye though, she, no longer the recipient of my affection. Interacting with you as I once did with my love, no break or pause or hesitancy in my actions towards you. I acted towards you with a level of comfort deemed uncomfortable for our current situation. You know the kind of comfort developed after being in someone's company, a potentially unnerving and irritating length of time, but somehow it's soothing, and their presence becomes your solace. Yeah, that level. And we're just not that close, so I'm sorry if I scared you. And I'm not saying that you do, but you might already know that I'm in love with her and using you. After all, you are just a rebound. And excuse me if I kiss you with longing, grabbing you by the fabric around your neck, pulling you nearer to me, deeper inside of me, and still getting nowhere closer to feeling better inside of myself. Eyes locked shut in the height of passion, easily imitating me, losing my mind in ecstasy, rather than me choosing not to see what I've allowed myself to do with you again. And excuse me if our encounters feel overly emotional. It's not that I'm falling for you, I swear I'm just broken and breaking into more pieces after offering you a piece. A part of me she delighted in. My body, her playground, her safety and object of lust and love. She sought me in more ways than one.
So this poem is called A Love Affair. When I first met her, she took my breath away. Her eyes pierced right through me, haunting, iceberg blue. Yet her warmth was infinite, radiating with a beauty so true it made me gasp. Her hair drenched in seawater, she was magnificent, and all I wanted was to smell her skin, breathe in that fresh air she carried deep within her seductive soul. I knew it was love. No, not love, something bigger than all the cliches I had in my mind. This was the kind of ease and comfort you long to find and maybe never will. I remember her questioning our connection. I guess she always knew we weren't a good match. Walking on eggshells, almost as though she knew that I'd try to snatch that beauty, that freedom, that power. And these moments spent in each other's arms are moments I find hard to forget. And it hurts that this could have lasted if only I had let myself listen. But I wanted too much. I wanted to own her, possess her, control things I shouldn't have tried to control. And all these years of senseless ignorance came tumbling down like a wall, all too soon. She begged me to change, endlessly presenting statistics I didn't quite understand about temperatures rising and the death of all that land. She talked about animals and ecosystems with the passion of a mother, caring and kind. But it was too much and I couldn't help but stay blind. I couldn't bear to admit that the things I do day by day contribute to her suffering in so many ways. So these iceberg eyes turned to snow and then to water. As life melted from within, her salty lips now fading and thin, her rainforest scent now filled my lungs with the suffocating smoke of burnt wood. But that still wasn't that moment, that point in time where I understood the pain I was causing. So she slowly gave up her life, and I watched her disappear. And I hesitated, because although I felt the fear, the powerless reality without her there, the burn of her coming absence, the giant unknown, I couldn't let go. No, not of her. I couldn't let go of habits that caused this destruction, and even that fraction of change seemed like eternity. But now I'm here, alone. I still miss the faint scent of the rainforest and the deep end in the sea. But it's only now that I truly realize there is no planet B. Thank you.
I'm not a doctor, but allow me to reach into your heart.
Yeah.
Ready? Jeez.
I said, I'm not a doctor, but allow me to reach into your heart. I'm not your lover, but let's get intimate. Actually, wait. Before we get into it, my intuition tells me to remember my position. Positive I am that my premonition may force me back to submission, that I retreat to my lowly shell with no confidence. See, I'm not cleaner, but I spend a lot of time looking at the floor, you know. I said, I'm not a cleaner, but every time I'm faced with a cataclysmic mess, I find it best to just sweep the dust underneath the carpet. I'm not a stubborn 5-year-old, but I can barely ever finish what I've started. So if you had to peek under the bottom left corner, you'd probably find a pile of suppressed trauma. And I promise, I'm not suicidal, but every time I step on a stage, I flirt with the idea of emptying the contents of my head. Small chance of survival, yet no interest in revival. It's vital you understand where my mental health spiraled. I was looking up to idols who I only gave the title because I thought they were superhuman. In reality, I was just idle. For certain, I'm no neurosurgeon, but I feel the burden of impacting every person with lines, diction, and unnecessarily long wording, penetrating that unvisited territory until you beg me to slow down because it's hurting. Like, well, go on, are you a virgin? I said, I'm no neurosurgeon, but I will be rewiring brains. Not to think like mine, nah. Quite the opposite. Not to think like mine, nah, quite the opposite. To think for themselves. Fuck, can I swear? Not to think like mine, to think for themselves. Fuck that, that's too long. Just to think. Think of a generation who woke up from slumber. See, I used to be thirsty for attention. Now I crave bites of knowledge, but where's your hunger? Food for thought. We're not getting younger. I'm not a doctor, I just have a lot of patience. I'm not a patient, I just learn to think with an open mind. Do you want to open mind? Thank you.
The first time I learned to draw God, I drew him with all the crayons my little hand could find.
Say that again.
Woo! Bullet!
The first time I learned to draw God, I drew him with all the crayons my little hand could find. I drew him pleasing, with eyes colored like mine. His smile glistened as he saw my crayons dance and my eyes flash. They fluttered. I drew him wearing a t-shirt, a red and blue checkered one that looked like my favorite shirt. He walked barefooted and his footprints glowed with pink outlines. I drew him with an ice cream cone in hand and his little green shivers sprinkled snowflakes all over my page. I drew God with a thick afro and a mullet that made him look like the dream of the Black Panthers mixed with everything American. His feet looked like he knew how to dance, and his hands looked like they were only made for hugging. I drew him with every color that ever existed, and red also. Thank you.
But I've got a lot to get off my chest, so I'm glad I'm here. Happy birthday, BYOB. Woo! I don't know about you, but recently I've begun to notice these fingers and thumb insist on curling into a fist. With near arthritic persistence they twist and in this way linger, with the exception being the occasional stray middle finger. But as is often the norm, it is not aggression that forms this fist, but equal parts frustration and the spirit of resist. But I wish to open up in part, and so with hand on heart I stand, give credence to this land of ours, but pledge a grievance to the flag. Dear green and pleasant land, you seem keen to stand for a breed of meanness that sees only your own. Well then please see this grievance, 'cause it's wholly homegrown. This England our own is now cast as the lonely crony who harks back to a phony colonial past. So with eyes open at last I find I own a pride that hangs at half-mast. So I'll start with sport for a second now, 'cause it's basic, but let's face it, we basically rent the flag off the races when our football players make it past the second round.
And we're all about calling it out when they shout those monkey chants, when this country can't douse the flames that rage in its own house. This hateful state ain't welfare of late, while those on its edges are meant to be grateful. But to be fair, I'm sure they're grateful. Grateful to feel the wind rush through their hair. Grateful for their thankless task and their food bankless past. Grateful for the heart, grateful to be given a chance. Grateful for the support, grateful for the doors open. Grateful for the roof over their heads, grateful to sleep safe in their beds. Grateful. So to the grateful dead, I pledge a grievance to the flag. And it's so sad when they're regrettably stressing the necessity of austerity from the get-go. I said I'd better be those less adept to weather this policy who were thrown to the dogs and then let go. I didn't see food collections at Tesco in the Tory manifesto, yet they're busy telling me we can all get the best go. Well, may I suggest you started the banks for this mess, because they failed our country, took our bailout money and no one's made an arrest though. We can put a true dent in the debt if we shut a youth centre in Brent, they said. We could slash the deficit if they scrap their benefits, and if that's the death of them, then that's fine by me. We'll close a library in Highbury and rely on fines from those not fined but tried to be. And the rise in knife crime seems unlikely, but it's hard to see from this nice tree-lined suburban semi. We heard them say, let me see if we can offer the plot that all foreigners cost and pickpocket the wallet you got. And the folly that does not cease to amaze is how they steal our jobs and our dole queue places. But they want us to think like this guy on a flight is not white, so might fit the type of shite that might fight for ISIS. Like this town faces a crisis because there's too many brown faces in Iceland. They're pulling up the drawbridge here, making this lost isle so hostile so you don't have your kids here. Send them all back to the shores they're born of, with more folks fucked than you saw on Pornhub. Always ask where you are from, so they saw them all off. If they ever got their unicorns, they'd saw the horns off. They pour scorn and play with your fear, only believe in those unicorns if they were born here. You sad flag draped patriots, you sad flag draped patriots, you mess with plague and hatefulness. You ruled the day where Britannia ruled the waves and traded slaves with us. Sold for gold and bought with rape and slaughter, but your Britannia is now a rowboat and it's taken in water. But still you hoist mast and cast off fast toward your bastard last resort. And if we sink, I think you half thought we'd stay afloat with blue passports. And if so, craft your bullshit British pride into life rafts built on lies, while up above daft half-wits laugh as their car sits with pride on white cliffs poised to slip far. But I guess it's better to be dead in a ditch or finish last, as long as it's in a British car. So stop politicking and sticking your wick in. Communities on their knees, enough without you sticking a dick in. They've been singing the blues for so long, but you've never been listening, because you only hear the pop hits that sparkle and glisten. Well, cop this, I will never stop, collaborate and listen, because with this fist in this position, I send a message to them who bend but don't break under weight of prejudice and hate that never ends. To them who don't quit, who fight for justice, who just miss, who are just this close to the end, who with nothing to spend extend friendship to those on the edge. To those on the edge and to those who go unmentioned, I pledge allegiance to them. Thank you. Tech 5 boss swap jam nitty gritty. You're listening to the boy from the big bad city is not the way I wanted this poem to start. But recently, reason and me seem to be growing apart. So I'm feeling the need to throw in a part that kickstarts a brain that's been slowing since March. Been sowing seeds to start feeding this heart, because with a bit of light we might see real feelings grow free in a yard that was weeds at the start. But my prose don't flow like my roses grow. Dead-headed, I feel all full of diesel when I meant unleaded, and I know it goes with the territory. Poets tell a story, but this fella can't tell if his prose is dope or just hella boring. I used to be like Ella when it was raining more than ever for me. I had metaphors pouring like Niagara Falls in the morning, with more balls than a Viagra stall at an over 40s orgy. But don't feel poorly for me, because I'm still sort of awesome. But the autumn leaves on my poetry seem to be falling for me of late. Look at the state of me. I used to spit the truth which you would take to me, and if you were floating by on sugar-coated lies, you wouldn't take to me. I'll expose bloated rhymes, MCs step to me like I'm a weight machine. They'll step off disappointed. No, wait, I mean, my point is, I'll spit so free you'll think there's 8 of me, but now I just see double. I used to be trouble. The crowd would say, oh my gosh, like D-double, and that's me trying to be home.
But
but now I just see double. I used to be trouble. The crowd would say, oh my gosh, like D-double, and that's me trying to be humble like Kendrick. I'll disperse verse like loose change that I spend quick. Like Bruce, I wane at this pretend shit tendency. MC spit a blend, a trend and rhyme dependency. I'm lending my ears here, so know you're in debt to me. I'm way off the best for me, but if you get in the ring, you still best pay off the referee and place your bets. Cause my battle status is catastrophic. I used to handle matters and smash a topic, but now my rap is backwards. I've got cattle crossing in these shallow babbles. I'm paddle crossing and traversing. When I write, I need nursing. I mix verse with a bit of night nursing. I think slower than a street with a hearse in. And when I speak, all I hear is beep, beep, beep. This vehicle is reversing. And the worst thing is I can't tell when this verse worsening became my new usual. I guess it's hard to write when the news is full of people who were all taken too early, like they were just too beautiful and their truth reduced to a Zoom funeral. In 2020 you fucking do numerals. Or maybe this brain cavity opened the very moment there was a knee on a throat and all hope was choked from a bloke and so much got broken. And I guess it's so white to say, oh right, I can fix them with some bars I wrote and spit some like this one, but it's hard to fight the system when you are the system. So I figured I'd just shut the fuck up for a bit and I listened. And I guess I got a bit blistered. But don't go twisting this thinking I'm history, cause you still will witness this lyric prolificness. Hard to hear it, this hieroglyphicness. Pyrofire like a flick-click Zippo. This will rewire your mind from the shit you're in. So Michelin, tired of lies, hard-wired my eyes. Look skyward to find time to design rhymes that scrape sky. Pure fire escape lines that will show you proof. I can show you a view from the roof if you would just take the time to browse in. My lyrical towers with plenty of flaws. Ample social housing and penthouse metaphors. Real reinforced metal door metaphors. And when I got praise, you'd say, what's he get it for? Well, I get it cause those metaphors were better than yours. Because I used to make more badass waves than Skeletor doing semaphore. And people would copy me. But now I'm just sloppy like pottery with demi more. I need to be friendly more. And you had to be potty to want to be bossing me anymore. And it'll take a try, because I got more... You had to be potty to want to be bossing me anymore, because I rap more power in an hour than Jack Bauer from 24. Things don't seem to be dropping for me anymore, and it will take a truckload of luck, so I better pick up those pennies more often. And though my flow may be no longer, I don't want to be stopping. I need to find the will to be rebuilt better, faster, stronger, like Steve Austin. You step back from my raps like they be coffin, but my heavenly art used to slay the future, present and past. They bring me 3 coffins. But now this quest be costing me endless cross questions, tossing me between what's left and what's lost to me. Some kind of Frost Nixon friction punctuating my diction like an apostrophe. And it doesn't make me ache to say I'm not the baddest in the stratosphere. Hell, there are plenty of poets who are PH fatter here. And I could come with the boom bap pizza patter here, but my onomatopoeia is not what's the matter here. My grammar is fine, but I find I rhyme like my grandma here. I had more similes from the heart than beats to the bar. My skills were so ill, they will stand 2 meters apart. But the song's just as strong as its weakest bar, and this is Thin Man, like Tin Man, it needs a heart. And I'm lacking mine. While we've been locked up, put back in time, the world's fucked up, drawing battle lines. I guess that's why most of this poem is me trying to spit battle rhymes. Because it's just a matter of time before I fluff my lines, because I ain't tough, see. And if I start crying, then my eyes go puffy, so I spit rhymes like eyes puffy. But the truth is, that to see you all here is just blow my mind lovely. Because without the folks in my life, I'm partial, I'm weak all, non-essential like a Marvel sequel. I'm half asleep with more beef than Cardi B, all unequal. Because you all are my be-all. I can slowly see all, like Bowie. I never thought I'd need so many people. Thank you. For those who missed their dads, who didn't go but now he's gone, they wish they had, fuck you, Johnson. For those who missed their mums, who knows they won't, but is so alone they wish they'd come, fuck you, Johnson. For those who cancelled plans, who every day phone their nans while you boasted of shaking hands, fuck you, Johnson. For For all of those who let their hair grow, who made a fortress out of their homes, while you cunts seeded disease into care homes. Fuck you, Johnson. For the care staff, who strapped themselves to their mast, who heard the claps and heard your crap while their ship was sinking bare fast. Fuck you, Johnson, from the bottom of their heart. For all the questions that won't get asked. For all our best ones now past, cause you couldn't be asked. For the NHS, that you now confess is the best, who just because they gave you breath, you've come to see the S on their chest. For those who hope you mean it, and for the rest of us who've always seen it, fuck you, Johnson. For those who don't say no, the places where the pain goes, they're in those, who treat pain and now pay you through the nose, who stack the slain in grim rows, fuck you for the cheek to put rainbows in your windows. For those of us who saw this coming, for those of us who saw you bluffing, for those of us who knuckled down while you did nothing, for those at social distance, who don't go to folks even though we miss them, who stay at home and spit some poems we think might fuck the system, and some we know just won't, like this one. For those who clap every week, when looking back we should take a knee, fuck you, Johnson.
Fuck you, Johnson. For
the journalists who push for proof to protect the truth you twist, to the poets and all the words that won't do shit, for all the fading hope that this country wouldn't cope like this, fuck you. For the low-skilled, the no-frills and most killed, fuck you. For those we shield, fuck you. For all of those for which we kneel, fuck you. For the well-sad, he was the best but now I can't tell dad. For those who the NHS is more than a lapel badge. Of course his remorse is not forced cause he wore his. Bang the pans and clap your hands, just don't count the corpses. For the voices gone, the choices you got wrong, for the 60,000 swan songs and the truth you want us all to move on from. Fuck you, Johnson. I see your game and it ain't new to me. You sow division and feign unity. When there's a second wave you'll blame the BAME community because it suits you. So there's a little fuck you for the future. For the slain, for those they left in vain, for those that wept and those not slept in days, for the left in and wrestling with depression, fuck you. For those that went in with a cough and those that came out in a box, fuck you. For those that died because you were slow out the blocks, fuck you. And a special fuck you that I have no right to convey. The kind only a care worker or a nurse may, who earn shit but pay in the worst way. Those that bow their head behind the hearse say, who want to puke when they see you clap on a Thursday, fuck you, Johnson. Fuck you. For all of us who stayed at home, but most of all for those who went to work to save a life, but thanks to you they saved their own.
This is going to be on my EP next year, so I hope you enjoy it. It's untitled, so if you have any names that you can think of, help us out. So yeah. I was also not mixed or mastered, so bear that in mind.
But you seem to have my permission. love is a place where our souls tie, a place where our vulnerable selves lie, and whoever it is that has your heart, let them see your story with your craft. It's a place of security and tranquility, joy and stability. Paint the words I speak so you can create your love through the imagery. Take me away, just take me away. Self-gravitate towards you. You match my energy. Heavenly talks, you know I'm down for you. Thanks.
My name is Aya, and before I get into what I call my dramatic expressing my oppressy poem, I want to explain why I write poems like that in the first place, because I might come off as a privileged white girl, and most of the time I wish I was, but the only thing stopping me is my nationality and ethnicity. I am Kurdish. I was born in Iraq, and I lived in Baghdad for 12 years, and then I moved back to my homeland, Kurdistan, and lived there until a couple months ago. My poem was influenced by watching bombs fall into my city while my corrupt government pretended it wasn't happening because they were too powerless against the invader. I have to explain because I usually keep it lighthearted, but when it came to this poem called Full, I couldn't write about peace, about hope, about love. Not when I live in the land of don't ever look above. Don't extend your neck. Not to look your father in the eye, not in defiance to your husband, not to your killer, not to his landlord, not to your dreams, and definitely not to whatever is falling from the sky. How can I write about moments of passion, instances of warmth, when time stops and I forget about the godlessness, the unholiness of the holy motherland of the holy? Amidst the shots, the words would be a facade. We have nothing to lose but our shackles, but our chains are made of gold. They shine brighter than our sun. We're in a daze dreaming of more weight to add to our fetters. We are birds plucking our own feathers. We don't even think of battles, the fight will never start. We are comfortable on our pile of crumbs, licking the drops of what life should taste like. We're a carbon copy of a worthy society. We're almost significant, like our history. I'm complicit, so are you. Thinking we can live their lives, thinking we're protected by our bubbles. There's no room for living, there's no room for loving. You'll know too if you try to glance at what's falling from the sky. Thank you.
This is called Write More, Sing More, Dance More. This is an angry poem. Excuse me if I profane, but I'm fucking fuming at the latest government campaign. Telling Fatima to rethink, reboot, retrain. Would they say stop writing to Mark Twain? Tell Shakespeare to refrain? And how else would Judi Dench ever be a dame? How dare these grey-suited numbskulls treat artists with disdain, trying to form a society that dulls the brain, making us into soulless robots who stay in our lane? And where was this advice to bankers when they were to blame for the last recession? Instead, they paid out their claim. This government is looking like dictatorship domain. They're doing all they can to persecute us in ways inhumane. Treating Grenfell residents like they're bottom of the food chain, or burning up paper so Windrush citizens are detained, selling warplanes to Israel and Saudi, creating wars on distant terrains, refusing refugees on boats despite seeing their pain, cutting budgets to schools so our young can't reach their aims, inflicting universal credit so while they drink champagne, blatantly lying to cover their backs and showing no shame, ignoring racist brutality, playing a tokenistic game, blaming gang crime for stop and search while sniffing the cocaine, leaving ex-soldiers homeless like their fight was all in vain, while ignoring climate change that could be causing acid rain, and giving out sycophantic honours, sharing respect that is just feigned, letting children go hungry while they enjoy cut-priced salmon terrine, and now they're lowering food standards and letting America obtain our NHS for their own financial gain. And then we get to COVID. And I do believe it's real, but the way they've dealt with it is completely fucking inane. Trying to push a vaccine that's more poisonous than sugar and aspartame when they don't know the cause and their testing system's lame. No mention of the impact of anxiety and nervous strain, and building up the immune system isn't shared on public domains. Misinformation is making us insane. It seems that we are heading to a world with a brand new name where people don't dare to be unique, individuality is tamed. It's essential we challenge the power they retain, have an opposition party that do more than abstain, and fight to end this fear with which they reign. Make sure we continue to go against the grain, write, sing, make music, dance, join together to take the strain. They know the power of talent, that's what they're trying to contain. Creatives use their right brain, without artists our lives are mundane. Art is instrumental, life would never be the same. Creativity ignites the flame, pumps blood through our veins. So don't let them put out this fire, and our spirit tame. Their motive stinks of gas, like methane. You've spent your life perfecting the skills that you have gained. So dance more, write more, sing more, and never ever let your heart and mind be in chains.
This is Maryam 2.0. Shout out to the first Maryam. I hope I slay as well as she has. So, very quickly, this poem was written also in lockdown, and the reason that's inspired this poem, as you may all know, mental health has absolutely skyrocketed in terms of, you know, just everyone really going through mental health issues, and I really hope that this inspires you. If you ever need help, please reach out. All of us need help at some point. So this poem is called The Lonely Intervention. When was it the loneliest you've ever felt? Was it when your marriage broke down? Or let's take it a little bit back. When, by a drunk mum, you got beaten with a belt? Was it when when your dad said he'll be back but was going to never be seen, or when you experienced your first heartbreak as a teen? Was it when you gazed at your surroundings, too many fake friends just on clowning, but how are you really? Nobody stopped to ask. Because these friendships were never made to last, so when the expiry date comes, you're on your ones, and instead of rising, you just got drowning fast. Was it when you lost your sister to drugs, and you just could never get over that loss? Because after a few days of condolences, no one gives a shit about the new levels of pain that you're going to come across? Or was it when you got really, really stuck between a rock and a hard place? You either paid the bills or you ate, so you thought, I'm short on peas, let me ring up some mates, and they said, yeah, I'll shout you when I get paid. But you never heard from them, and that was it. And that's the day you learned that it's not the survival of the fittest, but the survival of the fattest pockets. Tell me, was it when your friend got stabbed in that neighbourhood robbery? It's mad because all he had in his pocket was just an iPhone and a drawer. It's a fuckery. He was only 21. You used to hit the clouds and spit some bars for fun, but now that he's gone, you can't even look at his eyes through the face of his mum. When was the last time you visited his grave? I know this hangs heavy on your head and has changed the way that you behave, but God forbid you ever get help. Big man, you ain't the type that wants to be saved. So you just got to smile through the pain, and whenever it hits you just get waved, and you put a facade of being brave and keep it stepping on the decorated path of grenades. The one that your elders got you on, the one that they carved and paved. Or was it when you kept on applying for jobs but all you got were closing doors, and that's when you realised that prejudice, just like a wolf, had deep sharp claws, that the melanin on your skin or the scarf on your head was the reason that you're not getting the job, but the white kid instead? I'm asking you, and please tell me when was the loneliest you ever felt. I'm all ears because this loneliness is a card I'm always dealt. This shadow that follows me, and ironically, even though I pay the cost, is my only fan and my +1 company. So what accompanies is an overwhelming feeling of being so fucking alone at 3 a.m. with a conversation with somebody. Feeling like I'm the only citizen of this land. No other citizens allowed because the human nature is predatory. They say that no man is an island. Well, maybe like Columbus, I've just discovered a new territory where I alone, when alone, am alone. In my thought, it feels like home. I'm telling you, it's the non-stop fucking commentary. So no one understands me. No one understands me better than the solitude that haunts my dome. So now at 25, I'm perceived by society to be oh so grown, but really, I'm just a confused chick with multitones. With a heart that's gushing with feeling, but yet rock hard like stone, and don't get it twisted. I'm still the life of the party, but when the bangers stop playing, I just want to be left alone. Tell me, when did that feeling really hit hard? Because like attracts like, and I'm trying to deal with this right. I just want to get through this together. Because I know that 2 heads are always better, and I know it can't just be me that's stuck in this loneliness trap. I know you're fighting too. I'm trying to grow out of this confinement too, this mental trap that I've been forcefully sentenced to by my mind into. I'm tired of the sound of my voice playing full time in my head too, and this intervention is way, way, way overdue, so bring me your stories. Because I'm always, like I said, lay down your feelings and what's buried deep in your chest, what's keeping you up at night, and what's messing with your head. Tell me who left those harrowing scars, and what caused the waterfalls and the gaping holes in your heart. What happened in your young life that shattered your self-esteem? What was the rude awakening that handicapped your dreams? Tell me, who took the light bulb out of your everlasting beam? Tell me what made you think that even the thought of maybe taking your own life was not too extreme. Come together, let's try break out this cycle. Let's rise for a season of self-love revival, focus on a life with a little bit more ambition than just paycheck to paycheck survival. Let's battle these egos that feed on constant stroking and fancy titles, mute the voices of anxiety, shut it off at arrival. Let's see what happens when loneliness meets a fellow compadre. Does it make like misery? And take this new friend out for tea because we all know it loves company. Or does loneliness want to remain your secret little mystery, so it packs its bags and leaves the second someone gives you a chance to express, unload and speak, let go of the past. They say what you get is what you seek. So really, it may be all we need is someone to just ask. It might really help. When was the loneliest you ever felt? Thank you.
Nature Master. Cool. So this piece is called Your Music, and I wish I remembered it off my heart, but I don't. So. Cool. So it goes, when I say it's just you, you say and my music. When I say it's just me, you say and your music. Okay. It's just you and my music. It's just me and your music. Lovely. It's just you and your music. Yeah. It's just me and your music. Thank you. From beyond this earth to get our groove on. There's power on your breath, it won't be too long before the bonfires blaze from your conversations. We packed a whole lifetime into this sensation. Can't plan to be patient when your potential is blatant. Just take a look inside the mirror, understand that you've made it. From being jaded like a green stone to loving all your skin and bones anywhere you step. Just close your eyes and feel the beat of home. It's just you and my music. Yeah. It's just me and your music. Hey, yeah, come on. It's just you and my music. It's just me and your music. So I don't feel afraid of death itself. Why should I when I visit her nightly? Perhaps the soul isn't meant to be in a body constantly. But perhaps our dreams are the gaps in the melody. The soul's cast its line out, searching to catch new and unknown experiences. See, we are that hook in that ocean of everything. And it's the time that it takes for us to be reeled back is how long that we have here. There's parts of it that we will never hope to control. And there's parts of it that we think we can control. The great transition will always lie dormant, patient all the while, to eventually play back what we were brought forth to record, all those flavors. music. It's just you and my music. It's just me, yeah, and your music. It's just you and my music. The fear starts to slip as love takes a grip. That warm embrace with a sense of forever. One drop at a time in a wave all at once, because it just doesn't know how to stop giving, how to stop growing, and making so deeply wondrous anything that it touches. We are truly and unequivocally fortunate to have passed this way, as love holds a door open to mortality, wearing a smile older than life itself. There was no question that she would fly with us over that threshold. It's just you, oh, and my music. It's just me and your music. It's just me and my music. It's just you and my music. All of you, all your imperfections.
I want you to kiss me slowly, like a movie. Watch me as I go. Think of me when you're lonely. Speak kindly of me. Just sing of the girl, always running, trying to find some truth, something, make it romantic. Brush off my tragic state of mind. Woo! And when you hear my name, I want your heart to skip a little. Woo! Just enough to let you know you'd have a bit of trouble if you ever tried. If you ever tried to forget me. Keep me magical and charming when you keep me in your memory. Keep on telling everyone that I'm alive and I'm free and that I dance to my own tune. And the wildflowers in bloom ain't got nothing on me. Just sing of the girl, always running, trying to find some truth. Something, make it romantic. Brush off my tragic state of mind. Sing of the girl, always running, trying to find some truth, something, make me romantic. Brush off my tragic state of mind. I want you to kiss me slowly, like a movie. Watch me as I go.
Do you know that's crunch up your face kind of music? I like legit tickets, man. I need to like tickets right there.